Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. I have Kathryn Fantauzzi. She is the co-founder and CEO of Apollo Neuroscience on our show with me today. Kathryn, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. All right, I am notorious for butchering names. Did I pronounce it correctly?
No, that was really bad.
Okay, then tell me how to say it properly.
It's Kathryn Fantauzzi. When you have a name like that, you don't take it personally.
Okay. All right, Kathryn, give us some background on your company, Apollo Neurosciences, what it does. I want to hear about you, what you bring to the table for your company, and then I'm going to dive right into the technical aspects of what it is that you do.
Sure. So Apollo Neuroscience is a technology company based between California and Pennsylvania that developed a new technology that delivers vibration to the body in such a way that we combat stress. So we've shown in clinical trials that we improve sleep, people's ability to focus, and we do so in a way that it happens almost instantaneously.
Okay. Tell me how you came to be the co-founder of this company. You've had some background before. What skill sets did you bring to the table to bring out this great company?
Sure. So I've been working in technology and finance for my whole career. In the beginning, I worked at a company called NYSERDA, where I started a $20 million fund that was identifying tech that was out of R&D but hadn't quite made it into the marketplace in full force yet. And so we developed a fund to be able to identify winners and to help incubate and accelerate their commercialization. So when I came down to Pittsburgh, I came down here with my husband, David, who is a PhD and an MD, who is doing research into ways to help people who have chronic stress be able to cope with that in real time. Because funny enough, when you're stressed out, you don't remember to do the things that help you not be stressed out. And that's particularly the case for people who have, sleep disturbances or anxiety or depression or any of these treatment-resistant illnesses. So he was developing Apollo, what was yet to be Apollo, beginning in 2014. And I came on board in about 2016 to first raise the grant funding for the clinical trials. And then once those clinical trials came out, I joined and formed the company to commercialize the technology.
All right. Give us an insight of how it works. And I know that you've got already 2,000 case studies, but how does it work to help people reduce the level of stress? And it seems to me it works on multiple facets, but let's start there.
Oh, sure. So in short, fight or flight is a normal response in the body. When you are stressed, your heart rate goes up, your breathing gets shallow and fast, and all the blood runs to your extremities. And that's a good thing, right? Then a bear shows up and, you get away from the bear. But the challenge is in modern day life, chronic stress is really little tiny bears are everywhere. And what happens is that we get into a state of mind where we're stressed more of the time. And the human body hasn't really evolved to the way that we, rapidly change the way we live over the last 100 years, and especially in the last 20 or 30 years. And so the theory behind Apollo became based in the way the body responds to meditation and deep breathing and biofeedback and other sensory technologies like music therapy or light, visual type therapies to bring the body back into balance. The challenge is you can't use any of those things when you're actually stressed out. And so the way Apollo works is it sends vibrations to the body that mimic how your body normally responds when you deep breathe or when you're in a relaxed state. And so you wear this device, just small, as you can see. You
Right.
can wear on your wrist or your ankle, and you control it with an app. And so you select a program like, I want to feel clear and focused, or I want to help fall asleep. And it turns on a program that mimics how your body normally is in that state of mind. And what we found in clinical trials is that we improve cognitive performance, we improve the biomarkers of stress, we bring down sweat, we help people's heart rate even out and their breathing even out within 3 minutes. And then in over 2,000 case studies, we see consistency across the board in the real world where people are falling asleep faster and they can focus better at a task. And if you think about it, it's very simple. It's hard to sleep when you're stressed out because you wouldn't have fallen asleep if there were a bear outside your tent. But now, it's fear and stress is really signaling to your brain that you need to stay awake. And so winding down can be hard. And focusing is very hard when you're stressed because you're overwhelmed. And so Apollo really helps work with your body to help the body recover from stress very rapidly.
It seems to me that there is so many applications, whether it's wartime application or it's people in financial stress. Let's say that they're in an impoverished area because they get stressed out and it causes them to worry about the first thing that they need to deal with versus slowing down to get a bigger plan and make correct decisions. And people at the C-suite level, because there's a lot of stress that goes on there.
Yeah.
So I can see this as a real universal tool. How is this deployed? I mean, how do people get their hands on the bracelet to be able to work within the confines of reduced stress activity?
Oh, it's really easy. Go to apolloneuro.com and you can pre-order Apollo. We have a very limited pre-order that's open right now, and then we'll be launching in full force in 2020. But it's a software subscription. So you subscribe to the app and we send you a wearable for free. And the reason for that is because the app learns with you. So I talked about measurable results. One of the things that we can do is integrate in with data from all the wearables that people wear in general, whether that's an Apple Watch or another technology, and we can actually curate the experience to the person. So we can understand which programs work best for you and be able to release software updates that improve your experience over time. And so what we're really doing is creating a product that is really personalized medicine.
I was just going to go there. How much data you need off of the person before you can actually engage the bracelet and start working with it?
So that's the really cool part. When we did it in clinical trials, we found with just 2 frequencies that we affected more than 80% of the population. And when in our 2,000 trials out in the real world, we have an over 90% success rate with the first frequency that someone tries. And so the thing about the way Apollo works and the way Apollo feels is that most things that vibrate don't feel natural. When you feel your cell phone buzz, that's not a normal feeling. Or when you use your Apple Watch and it's going tick, 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 that's a mechanical feeling. Apollo is mimicking what naturally happens to your body when you're relaxed or when you're focused. And so it feels very natural to someone when they use it. Often when you see someone who's stressed out or tired, whatever it may be, jet lagged, they have a big meeting coming up, whatever it may be, you see someone relax and ease into themselves because it is as if they took a deep breath. And that's what's happening within the body too. When you look at someone's biometrics and the changes in their body, it's as if they are deep breathing. And so we created this because the challenge is stress isn't going away. All those populations you just talked about, whether it's people in underserved communities or whether it's people, veterans, or other people suffering from anxiety, PTSD, insomnia, or whether it's the C-suite or middle management or someone who has to get up and give a pitch or a talk. We all experience stress. And so the purpose of the software and the app is really to understand how are you using this so that the experience is curated to the individual person and their needs and their goals. But in terms of the effects, we find that people respond to this really rapidly and with great consistency because people are people. We all breathe, and we all know what it means to be stressed out, and we all know what it means to have a hard time sleeping. And so this is a really universal product.
What's the next stage for your company?
So the next stage for us is launch, and then scaling up and reaching more people and getting greater awareness about this new tool that people can really use to improve the quality of their lives.
I'd like to be an advocate for your product and your service. And I'd like to be able to talk to you more in depthly about that because I have a lot of friends that I work with, and people come into my studio, and even though they're calm, cool, collected, you turn the camera on, and they get all stressed out. I could just leave one here, and you just let them cool. Well, I mean, it happens. I've had them do all kinds of crazy things, but again, I'd like to be an advocate for your company. I want to talk to you more about how to be able to do that because it seems like you've got a product that really everybody needs. Instead of taking drugs, they can put the bracelet on and calm down and get through the day.
And that's exactly the point. And the reason that the product was developed is because there are not a lot of tools that people can use in the moment that they need them. At one of the talks I gave, the woman that was running the conference was very stressed out. And so I gave her an Apollo to use so that she could settle down. And she got up on stage and said, normally I have a glass of Pinot Grigio before I give a talk like this, but that's not really okay at 9 a.m. So
No.
I use the Apollo and I'm calm now. And so, and that's what we see people use. We see people use Apollo instead of drinking caffeine so that they can focus. And we see them using instead of drinking alcohol or taking other, drugs to help them sleep. And for us, the point is that all of these ways that you relax yourself through meditation or biofeedback or any of those tools are great tools, but they're hard to deploy in the moment that you need them. And so we wanted to create something that's really based on that's science-based, that really works on the way that your body naturally works to empower people to take control of their health, because stress really controls people, changes how they behave, you lose how you focus, it controls how you sleep. And, we live in a world that's getting crazier and crazier. And so we want to empower people to have more control over their health.
I believe in your product. All right, don't hang up after I say goodbye to the audience. I have some introductions for you.
Great. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for being our guest. All right, you've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. Don't forget, download our new app on Apple and on Android. CEO Money is the name of the app. Thanks for joining with us today.